Introduction. An outline of the project. This book investigates the rise to prominence of asana, posture, in modern transnational yoga. Today, yoga is virtually synonymous in the West with the practice of asana, and postural yoga classes can be found in great number in virtually every city in the Western world, as well as, increasingly, in the Middle East, Asia, South and Central America, and Australasia. Health club types of yoga are even seeing renewed popularity among affluent urban populations in India. While exact practitioner statistics are hard to come by, it is clear that postural yoga is booming. Since the 1990s, yoga has become a multi-million-dollar business, and high-profile legal battles have even been fought over who owns asana. Styles, sequences, and postures themselves have been franchised, copyrighted, and patented by individuals, companies, and government. And yoga postures are used to sell a wide range of products, from mobile phones to yogurt. In 2008, it was estimated that US yoga practitioners were spending $5.7 billion on yoga classes, vacation, and products per year, a figure approximately equal to half the gross domestic product of Nepal. However, in spite of the immense popularity of postural yoga worldwide, there is little or no evidence that asana, excepting certain seated postures of meditation, has ever been the primary aspect of any Indian yoga practice tradition, including the medieval body-oriented hatha yoga, in spite of the self-authenticating claims of many modern yoga schools. The primacy of asana performance in transnational yoga today is a new phenomenon that has no parallel in pre-modern times. In the late 1800s, a mainly Anglophone yoga revival began in India, and new syntheses of practical techniques and theory began to emerge, most notably with the teachings of Vivekananda. But even in these new forms, the kind of asana practice so visible today was missing. Indeed, asana, as well as other techniques associated with hatha yoga, were explicitly shunned as being unsuitable or distasteful by Vivekananda and many of those who followed his lead. As a result, they remained largely absent from initial expressions of practical Anglophone yoga. In this study, I set out to examine the reasons asana was initially excluded from most modern yogas and what changes it underwent as it was assimilated into them. With such unpromising beginnings, how did asana attain the standing it enjoys today as the foundation stone of transnational yoga? What were the conditions that contributed to its exclusion from the vision of early modern yoga teachers, and on what grounds was it able to make its return? At the time of Vivekananda's synthesis of yoga in the 1890s, postural practice was primarily associated with the yogin, or more popularly, yogi. This term designated in particular the hatha yogins of the Nath lineage, but was employed more loosely to refer to a variety of ascetics, magicians, and street performers. Often confused with the Mohammedan fakir, the yogi came to symbolize all that was wrong in certain tributaries of the Hindu religion. The postural contortions of hatha yoga were associated with backwardness and superstition, and many people considered them to have no place in the scientific and modern yoga enterprise. In the first half of this study, I investigate the figure of the yogin as he appears in travel writing, scholarship, popular culture, and the literature of popular practical yoga, with a view to understanding the particular status of hatha yoga at this time. This provides the necessary context for the second half of the study, which focuses on the particular modifications that hatha yoga had to undergo to avoid being perceived as a blight on the Indian religious and social landscape. The book targets an essential, but hitherto largely ignored aspect of yoga's development. Studies of modern yoga have tended to elide the passage from Vivekananda's